Probably the most talented guy in the class, Greg, Dietrich Mostella, who had originally committed to Pittsburgh, and we were able to kind of sneak him away. He's an Alabama kid, about 6'3", and just a fantastic talent. So overall, we were able to balance the classes a little bit and get the type of guys that fit our system.
Donnie, when you look at the SEC, certainly the tradition of a Kentucky, you played in that state. In my mind, what Ray Mears did, I grew up, Ray Mears was Tennessee basketball. Along the way, there's been successes. The tradition is there. One of the great periods of UT basketball was the Bruce Pearl era. And I like the fact that you understand that. You knew what Bruce did. Now you got to go and beat him when he's at Auburn. But talk a little bit about where you feel with the tradition of it, where UT basketball is going forward.
Well, that was a big part of me wanting to be here, Greg. The fact that there is tradition and there has been past success. When you go back to Coach Mears, which most people would say is the best coach in the history of the program, and what he was able to accomplish during his time in Tennessee, it's been done before, and it's been done in a big way with great coaches and great players. We talk about the Ernie and Bernie show, and Dell, help me with Dell, yeah, exactly. Guys that are really, Dale Ellis, I'm sorry, that's who I'm thinking of.
Dale Carter, I said football. I got that football guy.
Yeah, Dale Ellis and Allen Houston. There's been great players to come through there. And then just what you said about Coach Pearl, I've had a lot of people ask me, does that bother you? Are you worried about that? I'm a very secure person. Coach Pearl's a great coach. He did an unbelievable job. He has that charisma and personality that people like. And he was adored, and what we've done in my short time there is sell what he accomplished in recruiting. They went to an Elite Eight. He had a couple guys play in the NBA, so we're going to accentuate those things and sell those positives across the board. And I think it's great that people love Coach Pearl, because what that does is it keeps them being a basketball fan of the University of Tennessee, and hopefully that carry over to me and my staff and our teams and what we do.
Now, just a few moments, we're going to come out there. Mary Lynn's going to have the portable microphone, and I'm about finished with Donnie. I've asked him all these. I already know the answers before I ask the questions. But so you guys, I know that's why you're here. Here's your chance to talk with Donnie again. He's going to be signing autographs over at the Farm Bureau section right behind you here with that. And I know about you. We both have a daughter named Grace and Taylor, your daughters, and you get married in August, and Nikki, and man, this is quite a year for you.
Well, it's been a whirlwind. I read a book, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where it said the 3 most stressful things you can do in your life are take a new position, buy a home, and get married. And in my case, I'm doing all 3 in about a 3-month window. So it's been stressful, but you're right. I have 2 beautiful daughters. Taylor will be 15 here in about a month. Gracie turns 12 in about 4 days. They live with their mom in Kentucky, but obviously this move puts me closer to them, which is very, very important to me. And then I'm getting married August 2nd. I tell this story when I went and interviewed for the job. I called Nikki on the way back, and I said they offered me the job, and she was really excited. And I said, the only problem, babe, we're going to have to push this wedding back a year. She said, well, you're not taking that darn job. So I convinced her I could take the job, but I had to make sure we still got married on August 2nd.
Well, and I've seen Nikki, and he can recruit. So
I've outkicked my coverage, no question.
And also, I do want to mention this too, and what a sweetheart. Jeremy Benefield is our radio station's, our station's program director. His wife, Kelly, is signing. Can you do your own name? Kelly Benefield, there you go. And for all day today and tomorrow, for anyone who has family or knows of someone that wants to be part of this, that opens up to that. All right, we've got questions. Anything you want to add before we go out there?
I just want to echo what you just said, Kelly. I think that's awesome, taking your time to do that. That's big time.
I asked her, we were talking to George a minute ago, and I said, how do you sign goofball? All right, Mary Lynn? and this is one of my best buddies, Craig Ladd here, Blue Ribbon. You know Chris Dortch at Blue Ribbon, and Craig was associate editor of Blue Ribbon basketball book for a long time. So, all right, Craig, you got a question?
Coach, Marcelo kid, because of his frequent transfers during his high school career, I understand he's going through the clearinghouse situation right now. When do you expect to hear something from the NCAA?
Well, you're exactly right. Dietrich bounced around a little bit during his high school career. He ended up doing a year of prep school, and we feel like he's going to be cleared and eligible to play. With the NCAA clearinghouse, you just never know. I mean, it could be as soon as next week. It could go on into late June or early July, but I would think we would have an answer, I hope at the latest, Craig, by about June or July 1st.
Paul Lyle, one of the biggest UT fans I've ever met in my life.
A 15-year season ticket holder for football, but I love basketball too. Just want you to know.
Well, I want to hear you get season basketball tickets too now.
Tell us about Josh Richardson and what you. Hopefully, you looked at a little film of him. Seemed like he came into his own last year. Can you talk about him and the recruitment of Robert Hubbs to get him to stay in Tennessee?
Well, Josh is a guy that fits our system perfectly. He's got that length and athleticism, which is so important in our press in regard to getting deflections. He's really, really good in the open floor, which we're going to try to do a lot of in regard to playing in the open floor off turnovers. But at the end of the year, as you recall, he played with a ton of confidence. I mean, he was aggressive off the dribble. He made shots. He was an active defender. You know, he right now is the leader of our team. And the biggest thing with Josh is we tested our guys in the weight room yesterday. And no excuse, but or I'm not making excuses on the front end, but our team needs to get a whole lot stronger. The rep or the number in the NBA they use is your bench press 185 pounds. Well, to give you an idea, my team at Southern Miss last year, on average, 1 through 15, we averaged 13 reps of 185 pounds. So one guy might do it 25, another guy may do it 5, but at the end of the day, that was our average. Well, our average yesterday, reps, was 6 of 185. Now I say all that to say Josh was going into his senior year, bench press 185 4 times, which just isn't acceptable. So this summer is so important for him to build his body up and get stronger because he's going to have to play extended minutes. So that's important for him, but he has all the other things that he needs to be successful in our system. In regard to Robert Hubbs, he was a guy that I think was probably being influenced by a couple other guys that weren't sure if they wanted to stay or go, and they were influencing him until my staff and I had a chance to get in his home and get in front of his parents. And his parents are great people. Robert's a Tennessee guy that loves being at the University of Tennessee, so I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, Coach, great job," and I really don't deserve any credit. Robert wanted to be at Tennessee. He just needed a little bit of love and us to put our arms around him a little bit, and he's a great kid, and coming off that shoulder surgery, he should be released in about 2 weeks and be full go. So again, this is a huge summer for Robert moving forward.